Hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Lasha. You would have seen a tiny introduction to my face. And welcome to the channel, High Voltage. I'm just going to get straight to it. Charlie Kirk, from what I know, and believe it or not, I did not know who Charlie Kirk was. Not a clue. And I'm a very staunch supporter of Cheer Denise, Candace Owens, Joe Rogan, Andrew Gold, and Dan Wooden, Brittany from the Royal News Network. So I haven't watched quote unquote mainstream media television for such a long time. And I was going through YouTube and I saw the assassination and I thought, what is this? I'll never forget where I was. I was sitting right here and I was searching on YouTube and I first came across it with Megyn Kelly and she started to cry, and I'm not going to react to anybody's reaction except for Candace Owens and Erica Kirk and their two children. I'm a Canadian. I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. I don't believe in government. I guess as a Canadian, if I were to label myself at 54, I'm an independent. I don't belong to the Liberal Party, the Conservative Party, or the Progressive Conservative Party. I'm not registered with any party. I don't donate to any party because, in my opinion, at 54, based on everything that I've learned from younger people like Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, who I just have been fascinated by his debates in the universities. And for those of you that are familiar with me and my channel, and well, it's not my channel, it's our channel, you know, I wish that I had met Charlie Kirk. He is an excellent role model for anybody of any age. He's not misogynistic, Christian values, believes in family. And when I watched Candace Owens's reaction on her live on Monday, I could feel, and I'm sure everybody who watched it could feel, the truth of the pain. And when she said tears, she doesn't generally speak that way. And when she said, quote, I'm not the type of person to burst into tears, because she has a very strong resolve. And I admire her exponentially. And Erica Kirk, the reaction when she said, I'm trying to find the exact quote, her speech was just absolutely something else. Erica Kirk's speech, it was just listen to a piece of this.
My name is Erica Kirk.
Listen to this.
Charlie Kirk is my husband. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice. I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life, and the police who acted bravely to make sure that there were no other victims on that terrible afternoon.
Oh, yes.
I want to thank the officers who have protected our turning.
And then this is on Fox News. And I haven't watched Fox News.
Every day he would ask me, how can I serve you better?
There was a part.
I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married. You need to go that extra mile even when you didn't. So to all of the young people who felt inspired by my husband's faith and hard work, all of you already know what Charlie would want you to do. You know. If you're in high school or if you're in college, go find your local Turning Point USA chapter. Join it. Stay involved. He wants you to make a difference. And you can. You can. The movement's not going anywhere, and it will only grow stronger when you join it. If there isn't a chapter, you can't find one, then start one. There is no excuse. You can start one. And as my husband used to say in this room every single day, if you want to get involved, the best way you can do that is going to tpusa.com. That's what he would say every day from this chair. Every single day. I watched his show every day, and he would always say, if you want to get involved, go to tpusa.com. If you're a pastor, join our movement at TPUSA Faith. And if you're a parent, I highly recommend sleep last night. And I promise. Oh, Charlie, I love you. I love you, baby. Rest in the arms of our Lord as he blankets you with the words I know your heart always strived to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant.
Do you know, there was this one part, I was just trying to find it, and Candace Owens took a clip of it, and she said, the movement will not stop. And if you think, I'm paraphrasing, this isn't a direct quote, I'm going from memory. It was something along the lines of, if you think that this movement is going to stop, you are going to feel. I don't know if she used what word she used, but the basically the grief and the power is going to echo through this world, and this grieving, this widowed wife will not let this stop. And when Candace Owens was talking, and I'm sure all of you do this, you know, I'm just parroting what you can find yourself. I'm just sharing my opinion as a complete outsider, as somebody who is not a conservative American. I was absolutely just like everybody else. If people were not moved by this, there is something wrong. And the fact that Candace Owens, I was watching Mary Trump, and Mary Trump said that J.D. Vance got into Charlie Kirk's chair. And then Mary Trump said, I didn't know that was the responsibility of a vice president. And then Candace Owens, without saying a name. I strongly suggest watching Candace Owens live because I cannot articulate. She said, I'm going through the stage of grief and I am angry and I will not stop. And for all of you, you know who you are. She said, I don't trust anything we're being told right now. And I just want, oh, hi there. I'm so sorry. I wasn't even looking at my screen. Thank you, Benny. I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was just thinking about Charlie Kirk, and I've been watching some of his videos, and I was watching him on whatchamacallit, Club Random with Bill Maher, and that was quite interesting. The other thing I wanted to touch on really quick is this new Charlie Sheen Netflix series that's out, and this book. And Megyn Kelly said, we don't know if we want to play this interview, but in light of everything that happened, we have to keep moving on with our lives. And okay, whatever. She wanted to get that interview out. And then she started to say that she loved the guy and all of this. So then I listened to her, protege, Maureen Callahan, and I believe Maureen Callahan more. If there's any YouTube person I trust, it's Candace Owens, Maureen Callahan, and Cheer Denise. I started my channel the same time Cheer Denise started hers, and she reads books, highly intelligible. However, I wanted to say, real quickly, touching on the subject of Charlie Sheen, Corey Feldman and his other friend Corey that was in that movie with Charlie Sheen, allegedly, this is a rumor that's been in Hollywood for years, Corey Feldman made a documentary that he was by Sheen. And I really believe this is him. Who cares about what he did 40 years ago? He probably doesn't even remember half of it. And I feel really sorry for him, because he looks like his face is barely kept together. He used to be such a good-looking man. He wasted his talents with drug abuse. However, the darkness and the way that Charlie Sheen was grown up with his famous father Martin and his mother, they were nudists, swingers, addicts, and Charlie grew up in this. And has struggled his whole life. But I was listening to Charlie Sheen on Joe Rogan, and Charlie Sheen could not keep up an intellectual conversation because he's damaged his brain so terribly with drugs and alcohol. And so I just wanted to take this time to say, Charlie Kirk, I don't know who you are. You meant so much to everybody. What I saw, it was like, I'll never forget where I was. It was the way I think the whole world would have felt when JFK was publicly. And I pray for that. What can you do but pray or send positive energy in those thoughts? Because our brain and our neurology and the energy, positive or negative, that we can spread out all depends on how good we are as people, it'll shine through. And if we're dark, it'll shine through. And people can tell shit from Shiola. And there's something funky about this, because why haven't we heard about Trump's assassin? Not a word. And I just will leave it at that. And I just don't even believe allegedly that it happened. Oh, am I? Okay, well, thank you very much. And for the 17 of you that are listening, Sherry Dana thinks she reported me and how gross I am. And I don't know what I said that was gross, except for I'm not even going to address that. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And for those of you that didn't know anything about Charlie Kirk, I highly recommend looking into him. And you know what I found horrible? The people that were making fun of what happened to him. People were saying, Google his name, and then um, um, uh, somebody was so quote unquote stoked. That made me sick. And then I thought, what is happening to our society? What is happening? Anyway, I just wanted to say that. And with Charlie Sheen, I just switched. I didn't mean to go from Charlie to Charlie like that in a disrespectful way at all. But I just thought, like, why Charlie? Candace Owens is digging right into this. But I found it interesting that Mary Trump, a Democrat, would say something of that sort about J.D. Vance. And Candace Owens said, you know who you are. Don't step in that chair. And she said, from what I remember, I could be wrong, this isn't a threat, it's a promise. I'm going to find out what happened. And if anybody could find out what happened, in my opinion, it is Candace Owens. No, it's absolutely terrible. Nick incites violence towards people that don't agree with his beliefs. Nick. Really? Oh, Nick Fuentes. Well, I really appreciate you joining me. If we've never met before, I really appreciate it. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I wish that I had Charlie Kirk's tenacity and belief in myself the way he did. I went through a medical malpractice in Canada, and I started this channel to bring awareness to it. It's a very long story. It's all on my channel, but I do not think of myself as a survivor or a victim. I was in a wheelchair for a year because a doctor lied to me for 6 months, a surgeon, and he destroyed my knee. And it happened when I was 46. I'm now 54. And I started this as a non-donation charity. And I hold Amazon card raffles every now and then. It's only $25, but it's my thank you to all of you, because my goal was to have this be an awareness for medical malpractice, but it didn't work, unfortunately. However, I'm still going to plug along, and if you want to subscribe, and you'll never be able to find me again if you don't, but you'll come across me, I'm sure. If you do decide to subscribe, I would start with like popular shorts first and watch the dancing ones, because I taught myself how to ballet dance, And there's some beautiful people on this channel. Small channel, but just beautiful. Just turn them all into skate parks. Hello, Dishable. Okay, I really appreciate it. I wish you all tomorrow, well, today, Wednesday, September the 17th of 2025. I have to work at 10. I'm sure all of you have to work. And I was just up tonight thinking about Charlie and Charlie. And I just thought, what is the distraction going on with these two, you know, this washed up Hollywood star, apparently, allegedly, really coming forward for what? Like Matthew Perry? And then we have Charlie Kirk, regardless of what his beliefs were, regardless of if you believe them or not, he stood for something. He meant something to people. He had a wife who loved him, children who loved him, family who loved him. That's a blessed man. And when I heard his debates with people, I would find myself sometimes on the other side of the argument, but I couldn't argue his points. He was fascinating. So, thank you, Charlie. I continue to watch your channel and learn from you, and I want to know what Candace finds out because she's just frickin' phenomenal. Have a good night, everybody.